Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, Ajay Hogue, where Ajay's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's Ajay with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm Ajay Hogue, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program so you will speak English fluently. You will speak confidently. You will speak English effortlessly when you join my VIP program and commit to my VIP program. Commit, don't quit at effortlessenglishclub.com. Go there. Commit to my VIP program. You will succeed. You will speak powerfully. effortlessenglishclub.com. Welcome. Now, the show today, we're going to do another vocabulary lesson connected to the interview with David the Good. It's talking about gardening and growing plants. I'll do another section of that, play a little section of it, and discuss, again, a few more words connected to gardening, growing, those kind of things. Now, let's see, a fasting update for me. I just finished a 2-day fast. So I did 3 days, ate one meal, then did 2 days, and I just ate a meal just now, and I will begin another 2-day fast, 48 hours. So this meal I will not eat tomorrow. I will not eat until 2 nights from now. So 48 hours from now, I'll eat my next meal. Probably I'm going to do this series of 48-hour fasts for a while. 48 hours for me is a really nice, it's a nice time period for a fast because it's easy. It was pretty easy. I felt fine today, totally fine. A little hungry, but my energy was fine. My head was fine. I felt good, very clear-headed, all that kind of stuff. On the 3-day fast, the third day I was feeling pretty bad, honestly. It's beneficial, but I was feeling a little bit bad. And I've got a new baby coming home from the hospital very soon. We already have a baby here, so we'll have 2 babies at home. So really, I kind of need to keep my energy up a little bit. I think 2-day fasts are going to be perfect. Just chaining them together. 48 hours, 48 hours, eat one meal. 48 hours, eat another meal. 48 hours, eat another meal. So 1 meal every 2 days is what I'm doing. Still, I feel like I'm losing fat, which is great. And like I said, 48-hour ones. After the 72, I think my body's burning fat well now. So the 48 felt fine, no problems. Okay, so let's just do it. Let's do this vocab lesson, and then I'll come to the comments and questions. Hey, Giuliano, good to see you. All right, let's do it really quickly. Let's do our vocabulary. So this is another part of the interview with David, his nickname, David the Good, who writes about plants and teaches about plants and gardening and food forests. Permaculture is another word, means permanent culture. All these kind of things. All right, let's begin. So I'm asking him a new question. Now, what would you advise to someone, some people, they're starting off and they're, the land they have or little plot they have is, less than ideal. You'd mentioned in Florida, you had, just the sandy, horrible soil. So I know in your composting book, you talk a lot about this. How do you build up soil in a way without just dumping chemicals on it?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Tell you what, let's just rewind and just do my question first, and then we'll come back.
Those are another perennial crop. Thanks.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of the roots are technically perennial.
They're okay. Here we go. All right, gonna play it again. This time I'll pause and explain vocabulary. The land they have or little plot they have is less than ideal. So this is people like, what do they?
But in cold climate, after a year in the ground, you don't want to just let it keep growing and growing and growing. It's better to spread it around. A lot of the roots are technically perennial.
The land they have, or little plot they have, is less than ideal. Okay, so I said, my question is, what about people who have a little land and the plot they have is less than ideal? The plot, P-L-O-T. Now you might know this word. Plot certainly has a meaning for like a movie. It's the story. It's the main story. It's what the action of a movie, a plot. But here, plot has another meaning. Plot has a different meaning completely, and it means a small piece of land. A plot of land means a piece, a little area of land, a small area of land we can call a plot of land. So I said, what about people who have a plot of land, a little bit of land, a little piece of land, a plot of land that's less than ideal? Ideal would mean, kind of perfect, great. So less than ideal means not so good, right? So some people, maybe they have land, but it's not so good. The dirt is not so good for growing plants. So I'm asking him, what can people do if their land is not very good for growing? What can they do? I'll continue my question. You mentioned in Florida you had, just the sandy, horrible soil. He said, I said, you mentioned in Florida you had sandy, horrible soil, S-O-I-L, soil. Soil just means dirt. Soil means dirt. It's the same thing. Earth, dirt, soil. We use the word soil usually when we're talking about farming and growing plants. We will often call it soil, S-O-I-L, soil. It just means dirt. So I know in your composting book, you talk a lot about this. How do you build up soil? In your composting book, you talk a lot about this. How do you build up soil? Composting. Composting means you take mostly dead organic material. What does that mean? It means it used to be alive. Plants or animals. So you're taking dead plants or animals. Could be food. Usually it's food. Or it could be pieces of trees. It could be leaves. Anything that's kind of fallen is dead. It could be, it could be half a hamburger. It can be bread. All that's organic. It used to be alive. Right? It used to be a plant or an animal. And what you do, composting, is you just you kind of throw it all together and it rots. It starts to break apart. And that creates new soil, fresh new soil. So he has a book about composting. In a way, without just dumping chemicals on it. So I was saying, how do you improve your soil? Your soil's not good for growing. How do you improve it without just dumping chemicals, right? A lot of people use chemical fertilizers to make the soil better, but these create a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's a very good question. The best way is if you have a bit of compost that you can add, but sometimes you have a larger space and you say, well, I can't make enough compost to feed it. Traditionally, people would gather cow manure or chicken manure or pig manure or something like that and use it to enrich the soil.
Okay, so he's talking about compost. Like how do you can add compost to your soil to make it better. So again, compost meaning dead material, dead plant or animal material. Then he says, traditionally, people used to add chicken or cow manure. Manure means poop. Basically, poop. Cow poop, chicken poop. So that people used to use that. It would be it's a kind of a cheap and easy way to add organic material, compost, to the soil to make it better. But he's about to tell us why that is now a problem.
To grow for a season. But if you want it to really be rich long-term, mulching is a very good way to go.
Okay, so he gives us a better answer. He says, if you want it to be great long-term, mulching is the way to go. Mulching. Now, this is a gardening word. Mulching. To mulch. Can also be used as a noun. Mulching. Mulching. What is mulching? Mulching is adding plant material, usually leaves, pine needles. What else do people use? People use pieces of wood, like wood chips, little wood chips that are cut up into little, or dust, kind of sawdust, wood dust. Any kind of plant material like that. And when you mulch, what you do is you cover the ground with this. You put it on the top. So you might be growing some plants, and then you add this mulch. They call it mulch, right? It just means dead plant material, leaves, pieces cut up, little tiny pieces of wood, that kind of thing. It's called mulching. So he's saying that is the best way. You just put that on top of your soil, of your dirt, and then, of course, gradually, with time, it will break down. It will break apart and become new soil. Mulching. Adding plant material on top of the soil. Mulching.
If you can get a bunch of leaves or wood chips or rotten straw or hay, that sort of thing.
So straw or hay, rotten straw or hay, wood chips. These are all good for mulching.
And let it rot down into the ground. The ground underneath gets softer. It fills full of worms. It gets a lot of...
So the benefits, the ground gets softer. Worms, right? The ground will get full of worms because the worms like to eat this stuff.
Life in it, and it grows. But if you don't have a lot of material that you can throw down, or if you're concerned, because a lot of hay and mulch and manure now has pesticides or herbicides in it that can actually damage or kill a garden.
All right, so this is the problem now. Unfortunately, now a lot of mulch and also a lot of fertilizer like manure and things has herbicides and pesticides that will kill your plants. Herbicides. Side means kill. Side. C-I-D-E. It's not an individual word, but it's a part of a word. But when you see that as part of a word, it usually means kill. So homicide means to kill a person, a human. Murder. Homicide. Suicide means to kill yourself. Suicide. Herbicide is something that kills herbs. It kills plants. It kills herbs. It kills plants. Herbicide. It's a chemical. Pesticide is something that kills pests. So that usually we're talking about insects with pesticides. Pesticides kill insects. The problem is these chemicals will also, number one, like the herbicides, will kill your plants. And number two, they're bad for your health, right? They're very bad for your health. They're bad, dangerous chemicals. So unfortunately, some of these things are in the mulch, in the fertilizer. Ah, right.
So it makes it worse. Traditional methods don't work like they used to.
So he's saying now traditional methods don't work. In the past, people could just easily go to a store, buy mulch, right? Buy wood chips, buy something like that, or buy cow manure. But now that doesn't work because these things now have these chemicals in them, and the chemicals will kill your plants. So you have to be more careful now.
Sometimes people will put down hay on their garden, and then all of the plants start curling up and twisting because they spray.
Sometimes people put hay. Hay is kind of like dead straw, dead kind of grass. They'll put it on to mulch their garden. They put it on their garden. They think they're helping their garden, but instead their plants start to curl. Means they start, instead of going straight, they curve, right? They turn and they die because of the chemicals in the hay.
Spray lots and lots of herbicides onto the hay fields to kill weeds. It doesn't kill the grass, it doesn't kill the hay, but it kills all the weeds. And the grass takes it all up. So when it's cut as hay and you put it into your garden, everything around it dies except for grass. And so it's awful,
Yeah.
It's a very toxic system. So the way
it's a very toxic system. Toxic means poisonous. Poisonous.
I found to garden and grow a larger area if I don't have enough mulch and I don't have access to safe manure, because the cows will eat hay. The hay has the herbicides on it.
So this is the problem now with the manure. The cows eat the hay. The hay has chemicals. So now the chemicals go into the cow. And when the cow poops, creates manure, now the manure has all of those terrible chemicals that will kill your plants or, give you diseases or make you sick.
The hay passes through the cow's digestion, and then when you compost the manure is still toxic and can kill a garden for the next year. Wow. This is a big problem in the United States right now is the chemicals they spray on the fields. Yeah. They get into all the cows' feed, and then the cow manure is not safe anymore.
So the cow manure is not safe anymore. The cow poop is not safe anymore because they're spraying these chemicals, these toxic chemicals, poisonous chemicals, on all the fields, on all the grass. The cows then eat the grass, and then the chemicals are in their manure.
So if you don't have a safe source, or let's say you're in a backyard, you don't make enough compost, you don't want to go buy any, and you don't have any cows nearby that you can borrow from, you can take a barrel or a bucket and take...
Okay, so now he's giving us a solution. If you don't have cows, if you don't have your own cows and safe manure, if you don't have all of this stuff, what can you do? How can you make your soil, your dirt, better for growing? And now he's going to give us an idea.
Take your weeds and throw weeds in there. You can throw some fish guts in there. Fish guts are really good fertilizer. So if you
Okay, so now he's telling you how to make kind of a fertilizer at home. You get a big bucket, right? A bucket. And in the bucket, you put some grass, cut some grass or some leaves, anything you can get from your land. Just some plant material. Then number 2, add fish guts. Fish guts. Guts are like the insides, not the muscle, right? It's all the organs and all the other stuff. We call it guts. So fish guts, he says, are really, really good fertilizer. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So you can go buy if you buy a fish to eat, buy the whole fish and then take the guts out yourself and throw those in the bucket. Or maybe you could go to a store. You might be able to go to a store and ask them for the fish guts, just the guts, because many people don't eat the fish guts. They only eat the meat of the fish. So you could get the guts yourself and take them home and throw them in the bucket, add a lot of plant material like grass and leaves.
If you have a friend that goes fishing or there's a local fish market, you can take a little bit of the leftovers of the fish and throw them in a bucket. You can even use urine. You can even use urine, your own pee.
So also collect your own pee. So you could pee into a bottle and then add that to the bucket. So the bucket will have urine, pee. Urine is kind of the polite word. Pee is more of the just common regular word, but not so polite. But urine, U-R-I-N-E, U-R-I-N-E, urine means pee. So collect your pee in a bottle, put that in the bucket, put the fish guts in the bucket, and put a bunch of grass and plant stuff in the bucket.
Urine, put a little bit into the bucket, put a quart or two into a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, it's in your book. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yep, it's very high in nitrogen. And then what you do is...
So why is the urine good? It's high in nitrogen. Nitrogen is a chemical meaning, it's an element actually, but it's good for plants. Plants need nitrogen to grow. It's in most fertilizer. If you buy at the store, you buy fertilizer to help your plant grow. You'll notice that nitrogen is one of the main ingredients. Well, your pee, your urine has a lot of nitrogen. So look at that. Free fertilizer you're making.
You just cover this bucket and you let it rot for a few weeks.
So what you do is you put all of that stuff in a bucket and cover it, let it rot. Just rot. To rot means to fall apart, right? So just let all the fish guts and the urine and the pee and the plant material, let it all just kind of rot, fall apart.
Then you strain out the grasses or whatever's there, and you...
Okay, then you strain out. You strain out the grasses. It means you kind of, to strain means it's usually like the idea of you have something that's liquid, like watery, but it also has pieces, there are things in it, like little large pieces of things. To strain out means you take out the large pieces, so it's only liquid. It's only watery stuff. So for example, tea. If you made tea, you put tea leaves in water. Well, you'll make tea, but you don't want to drink the leaves, so you strain them, right? You use something like a screen or something, a bag, something like that, to take out the leaves and keep the water, the tea.
Use that tea to water your garden beds with. Usually.
Then you use that tea. In fact, he's calling it a tea. It's kind of you use that to water your garden. So you got this bucket. It's got all this watery stuff from the fish guts, the pee, the rotted plants, and it makes a kind of watery. It's really smelly. Really smells bad. He says, but you can imagine it sounds like it smells really bad. But he said it's really, really good for your soil and for your plants. So you just use that and you water it. You water your plants with that kind of fertilizer tea that you make at home, and this will help your plants grow a lot. I think we're going to just stop there. I think that's enough. That's a nice tip from David the Good. Especially if if your dirt is not very good, or maybe you have a little garden in your apartment or something. I mean, that would be something easy to do, creating your own composted tea. All those ingredients are pretty cheap. You could put other stuff in there too. I know from reading his book, you can put any organic material in that bucket. So any leftover food, you can put it all in there. Any plants you find, leaves, little small sticks, wood chips, all that kind of stuff. Throw it all in the bucket with your urine and the fish guts, meat even, some meat that you didn't eat. Put it all in there, cover it, and let it rot for a while. And it'll become really stinky, but that's okay. And after several weeks, then now it's ready to feed your plants. And you'll use just the watery part. Pour it on your plants, around your plants in the dirt, and your plants will grow better. Nice tip. I like it. Simple, super cheap, free basically. No extra money. All right, well, let's go to comments and questions, and we'll talk about it. Got any comments or questions about this or whatever? Also, by the way, Brave New World. We are starting our new book this weekend, Brave New World. I just read the first chapter again. Ooh, yeah, I'm starting to remember how evil it is. So, just quickly, introduction to Brave New World. Brave New World, if you want to understand it, here's how you understand Brave New World. It's the plan. Brave New World is telling you the plan. Whose plan? The plan of the richest and most powerful people, families. So the banking families like the Rothschilds and the Warburgs, those are, I don't know if they're the top, the Pesurs. I don't know if they're the top, but they're certainly near the top. George Soros, those kind of people. And then under them, all the people that work for them, all the politicians and government people, and CEOs of giant companies, and all of those kind of people. The globalists, the EU bureaucrats, all those people. What Brave New World is teaching us is their plan, what they're trying to do, the world they are trying to create. They have been doing it for a long time, over 100 years. They have been doing this plan, and they are getting very close to being totally finished with the plan. They have done many, many, many things in their evil little plan to control all of us, to make us all slaves. This is the Matrix. This is what the movie The Matrix was trying to tell us. And what Brave New World is doing is showing us exactly how will the Matrix, not the sci-fi Matrix in the movie, but how will the real world Matrix look? How will they make all of us slaves? They're slaves. How will they do it? What's their plan? How do they plan to do it? And so Brave New World is showing us exactly how they plan to do it. They've already done many things. We will see in later chapters of Brave New World, we will see that already they have succeeded in many, many ways. The school systems, the media, in many ways they have already succeeded. Chapter 1, they have not totally succeeded yet, but it is their plan. Chapter 1 is showing us their ultimate plan, their fantasy of controlling us totally from babies. So we have no chance for freedom. We have no chance to wake up. We have no chance to be red-pilled. We're totally and completely their slaves, under their control, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it. Just like the movie The Matrix. So that's what the first chapter we'll see, and really the whole book is about. It's a plan. It's not some sci-fi. Too many people read Brave New World. They think it's just some kind of sci-fi book, some kind of fantasy. It is not a fantasy. It is the actual real plan of these people, and they are doing it. We can see it in the real world. They are doing it step by step, year by year. They are doing it, and they are succeeding. And so we read the book to understand their plan so we can stop them and escape them. All right, let's go to comments and questions. People typed in a few of the words I said. Thank you. Motions, manure, typed in manure, manure. Thank you. Yep. When writes herbicides, pesticides, toxic system. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for typing these as I talk. I'm a little lazy about writing these things, so I appreciate people who write them. Thank you. Motion says toxic means poisonous, but intoxicate means to be drunk or very happy and excited. Should not mix these up. Well, the root, though, if you want to understand it, the root of intoxicate, you're right, it means to be drunk. I'm intoxicated. But that root, toxic, is still there. Why? Because alcohol is toxic. Because you're poisoning yourself in a way. So that's why it uses the same root word. Wow, even pee, says Sagvan, says even pee. Yes, that's right. Your pee is good fertilizer. I know, I didn't know either. I had no idea that you could put your own pee on your plants. He even says in his book, one of his books, that you can just go pee on your plants if you want. Pee on the dirt around the plants. Alexi, one of our regulars. It's really difficult to catch your live show. I'm so frustrated because I'm having a lot of exams. Oh, no worries. I'm rewatching all of your shows. Great, Alexi. And yeah, no worries. Do your best. You know, I record them all. Oh, yeah, good point. Jabala says we use composted coffee. It works too, right? Coffee. If you make coffee, after you make the coffee, we call them the grounds, right? It's the little pieces the small pieces of coffee after you're finished. Put those in a bucket. You can use that as fertilizer. Put it in a bucket. That's plant material. Put that in the bucket with all the other stuff. Same with tea leaves. You can use the old tea leaves and put those in the bucket. You have this compost bucket, right? This big bucket. You throw in your tea, throw in your coffee, throw in your extra food you didn't eat, your wasted food. Put in some urine, put in some fish guts if you can. All this stuff goes in there, and you just let it sit for a few weeks or months, and then it rots and it creates this fantastic fertilizer. Yeah, Motion says planting in your poop reminds me of the movie The Martian. Exactly right. He used his own poop for fertilizer. Now remember when we talked about poop, your poop, that you have to be very careful with poop as fertilizer because it's got lots of bacteria. You can spread disease. So the rule with the poop is you must always bury it. You must always bury it deep, right? Not just a little. Don't put just a little dirt on it. You have to dig a deep hole and dig it deep, and then you can put the poop and then cover it all with dirt, nice and high. Then you won't poison your water. Yeah, Rafiko's good. I have 2 ponds In back of my house, my parents nurse fish there, and we eat. Very natural. Perfect. And you can take, if you grow plants, Rafiko, you can, after you eat them, use the guts, the parts you don't eat, put them in a bucket with this other stuff, make this fertilizer tea, use that on your garden. Yeah, Nasser says it sounds a little disgusting. It's not hard. You say it's hard work. It's not hard work. Just throw stuff in a bucket. It's actually very easy. Just put it all in the bucket. So that's actually very easy, but it can be a little disgusting. It smells bad. Yes, he said it smells bad. When you're using urine and fish guts, it will smell bad. So get a plastic bucket probably that will seal. The top will close very tight so the smell doesn't come out, especially if it's in your house, right? You want to have a nice, good bucket. Who is the author of the book? David the Good was his name. David the Good. David, D-A-V-I-D. David the Good. That's who I was talking to. Vladislav, probably people at the top use Brave New World as an instruction. Yeah, I think they already had the plan, and Aldous Huxley learned about it. See, Aldous Huxley came from a kind of upper-class British family. His grandfather was pretty famous in England. So I think Aldous Huxley learned what their plan was. He was around those people a lot. So he kind of knew what the plan was, and he wrote Brave New World to warn us, to tell us this is what they're planning. This is what they're trying to do. Lisa says, recently we have a lot of rain in Hungary. Plant growers now spray a lot of chemicals against various diseases. Then it's raining again, it washes down the chemicals. Right. Spraying with poison starts again. Yeah, they're poisoning everyone's water. Everyone's water is being poisoned by these farmers. I don't know what to think about how much toxic gets to the plants. We often do not know how poisonous the plants are. The best thing we can produce is for ourselves. Exactly right. They're spraying all that junk onto the plants, all these toxic, poisonous chemicals. And then it gets into the water because of the rain, and then animals eat it. It gets into the meat, into the animals. So yes, gardening it saves money. Gardening saves money. It's a nice activity. And it's also the best way to have clean food. The most clean and the healthiest food is the food you grow for yourself. Kong with a kind of a joke. I pee on some tree along the street, but the police stop me. Right, see? They should let you do it. It's good for the tree. But yeah, maybe don't do it in the city. Win, this is probably a question more for David, but I think I'll give you my guess. I'm not an expert, okay? So do some research. Some kinds of harmful mold might be generated while making fertilizer. How to prevent it? I think it does not, actually. I think that when you compost, you have to, if you put plant and animal things together, you leave it a long time, that actually it kills those harmful molds and kills the harmful bacteria. It will actually get kind of warm. It kind of warms up as it's rotting. So I believe so, but that's a question. When he comes back, we can ask him that question. I've read that before. I know that. But, that's not an expert answer. Sagvan says, I've been following you for more than 5 years. This is the first time I've seen you live. Well, fantastic. Welcome. Mauricio, hello from Costa Rica. Hey, good to see you. Well, this is interesting. Vladislav says, a long time ago, my cousin in a village told me you should not use pig poop for the dirt. It will burn your plants. Interesting. I don't know why pig poop specifically. Maybe they eat a lot of chemicals and things. But kind of like what's happening now with all the animals. Hi to Mary. Jabala. Hi to your daughter, Mary. Question about diet, Emmanuel. Coach, I've got a question. I am asking it anyway. Let's see. You might not be interested, but asking, wait, do you think vegan diet is a fashion for most people? Because I myself am a vegan. Most people are trying to talk me out of it by changing my diet, eating a carnivore diet. Do you think it's none of their business what I'm eating? I mean, I'm feeling better and healthier since I changed my diet. Yes, none of their business. That's my general answer about diet overall. Eat what you want. Okay? Eat what is healthy for you. You know, I really do think with my various experiences, trying different diets myself, seeing other people, I think, some people do well on some diets. Some people don't do well on some diets. So you have to find the answer yourself. So, if you're happy being a vegan and you feel healthy and everything's great, yeah, do what you want, right? And if they don't want to be vegan, also good for them. No problem, okay? Sometimes the opposite happens. Vegans, I've had, vegans maybe in the past try to tell me, oh, you got to be a vegan. And that's also just do what you want. It's none of your business. It's your life. So it's your food, your choice. Yeah, I'm tired of it, man. I was a vegetarian and I've done paleo and I've done all kinds of things. I'm just tired of people arguing about diet, quite honestly. I don't care what other people eat. I don't care. All right? So if someone wants, I think it's just your business, and people treat eating like a religion now. Because I think probably because they don't have real religion. So they're too crazy about diet. Do the diet that's healthy for you. Try different ones. And then, let other people do the same. That's my personal belief now. Now, Rafael says he has 3 cows. That helps natural manure. See, if you have your own cows, that's fantastic. Now you're not feeding them chemicals. So you get good manure. You use that to feed the plants. It's a perfect system. Or if you have your own chickens or whatever. It's really great. Cardo asking, when will we start Brave New World? We will start it Saturday, probably. Saturday. Yeah. So read the first chapter. Read chapter 1 of Brave New World. You might want to read it in your own language. Because I read it today. I read chapter 1. And it's difficult. It's difficult. There's a lot of vocabulary, the style of writing, all of it in English. I think quite difficult for some of you. I think some of you will find it difficult. Some of you maybe, no problem. But I think some of you will find it a little confusing reading it in English only. So I recommend read it in your own language, chapter 1, and then also try to read it in English too. But first read in your language. Then you'll understand all the situation. You'll understand everything. Then try in English. Now you have the general idea, and you can try to work on the vocabulary words and get the idea in English. Then you'll watch the video with me. I'll explain the main ideas of the chapter, maybe a few of the vocab words, and we'll discuss it. So in this way, you'll kind of learn it deeply. Nasser says, I've been living in Saudi Arabia for 3 years. Went to a farm near where I live. I started asking the farmer about good quality food. The farmer says, let me be honest. The best quality food in this area has no chemicals at all. But if you want it, it will cost more money. Yeah, it's called organic. Yep, that's right. But if you grow it yourself, it's cheap and it's highest quality. You're getting the very best food for the cheapest amount when you grow your own food. You just have to use it. Of course, you just requires some work and some time. Zobade, are you saying we should make the soil healthy with composting instead of spraying chemicals? Yes, that's right. That's the general idea he was saying. Yes, avoid the chemicals. Yeah, don't use too much urine, Rafiko says. That's right. Not too much, but you're making this tea. You have to add the other ingredients also. Balance, balance, balance. Mauricio asking, if I listen to your podcast while sleeping, will it help? Probably not. I don't think so. Better to be awake. Tomas says, AJ, greetings from Poland. We have healthy food here. Great. Yeah, that's fantastic. Very good. I think some countries, the United States has, I'm not going to be polite. I'm just going to say the truth. United States has shit food mostly. It's crap. So I understand why some countries don't want to import American food, like Japan, the EU, because American food is crap. It's a bunch of industrial garbage with huge amounts of chemicals used. That's why Americans are fat and unhealthy, because they eat garbage, junk, crap food with low nutrition, lots of calories, and of course also lots of chemicals and just huge amounts of sugar. Ugh. American food's garbage, okay? Can you find good food in America? Yes, you can. You can go to health food stores. There is there are areas that sell organic, healthy food. But overall, what most people eat in America is garbage food. When I travel in Europe, there's garbage food in Europe for sure. Definitely there is. But there's also some nicer quality stuff. Asia, Japan, the quality of food in Japan is so much better. So much better in grocery stores and in restaurants. Just the average level of quality of food, much better. Tastes better, healthier, everything better. So, yeah. American food's crap. So, I'm glad to hear Poland has good food. Nasser says, I'm excited for the next book club. I'm ready for the biggest red pill ever. Brave New World will be a very big red pill. We are going into the Matrix. What Aldous Huxley's doing in that book is he's showing us the Matrix. He is describing the Matrix, not the sci-fi version. In the movie, they're trying to tell us the same message, the Matrix. But they're doing it with metaphor, right? As a sci-fi story. They're giving us the idea, but it's a sci-fi story. Brave New World, it's not a sci-fi story. He's describing exactly what they want to do. Yeah, a few of the details are a little sci-fi. He wrote it 100 years ago, right? 30s, not quite, but he wrote it a long time ago. So the exact science he describes in the book is not quite right, but the overall plan is exactly right. And we will see. We're going to see the evil Matrix. And you might see the world around you differently after we read this book. The quality of food in Kurdistan is also high. Yes, that's great. I think when you get away from the UK and America, Canada, the food quality is usually better, which is why the people look healthier. They're thinner and healthier. Aha! Amazing. Yeah. Quote from Shakespeare, "A wonder how many goodly creatures are there, how beauteous mankind is. Oh, brave new world that has such people in it." Shakespeare was being more positive, and Aldous Huxley is giving us the dark vision. Tuan says, Japan, the country has the same size as my country, similar, but the living conditions and the Japanese people's mindsets are truly well respected. Indeed, I respect the Japanese people and culture a lot. Very grateful to be here, living as a guest. In New York City. Now, see, in the bigger cities, you can certainly find healthy food in America. New York, San Francisco, it's a little easier. Like California in general, a lot of people focus on health. So there's a lot of health food stores and things. New York for sure. Paula says, in New York, I eat in European fast food where you can find mixed salad with fish or chicken. Yeah, right. Yep. That's right. It's possible in some cities, especially the bigger cities, or if you go to health food stores. I'm just talking about the average American. The average American person eats junk. It's crap. Be brave and read Brave New World, says Rafiko. Yeah. Oop. Okay, so Mohammed's contradicting me here about sleep learning. Interesting. There's a study saying you can learn while you're sleeping, and it will help you learn faster and get improvement faster. I got your Air Force English course 7 months ago, still in the repetition lesson. The method using is amazing. Keep moving, AJ. I don't know. You can always try it. I just don't make it your main thing. I don't think you're going to learn. Your main learning improvement will not come from sleeping. If you also want to play the lessons while you're sleeping, maybe. Especially as I think, at least in the area of hypnosis, I know that the time when you're first falling asleep, it's kind of in between, right? You're not quite awake, you're not quite asleep. That middle period is actually very good for learning things and remembering things. Also for hypnosis. That's what hypnosis is. It's using that little area in between. So you could play, and as you're falling asleep, it might help. But again, I think your main learning will need to be focused with good energy. Oh, we'll ask David about this, Lisa. Sometimes it's difficult to get seeds for plant growing that are clean and not poisoned. Be curious what David suggests for this. Yeah, we'll ask David where the good source. I think it's called, what are they called? Heirloom, I think, in America. Heirloom. Heirloom seeds. These are natural seeds. No GMO stuff. GMO means genetically modified organism. So heirloom seeds, probably online, right? I'm sure you can find organic or, chemical-free seeds online. There've got to be websites. I'm not a gardener right now, so I don't know for sure. We'll ask David. Allah says, where's your baby? My wife is watching Baby Girl right now. All right, a couple more, and then time for me to go, because it's my time to take care of the baby. I am the night person. I take care of the baby at night. Tuma says, hi, AJ from AP State in India. I listen frequently to you. Hey, good to see you too. AP, is that I can't remember, Andhra Pradesh, something like that, right? North part? I think I've been there. Yeah, Luis from the DR, Dominican Republic. These days, you can't eat street fruits because the chemicals people use to make them grow fast. Yeah, that's terrible, right? It's just terrible. Like one of my favorite things living in Thailand, in Bangkok specifically. I love all the street food. Bangkok is one of the best cities in the world for that, for great street food. And one of the best ones is the fruit. They sell all this. It's tropical, of course, Thailand, so they grow amazing fruit there. And they're on the street, there are people, they walk around, they're pushing these little carts, and they've got all these fresh fruits. So in the morning, kind of my morning routine when I lived there, I would always go and get like some pineapple and coconut for breakfast, coconut water, coconut. That would be my part of my breakfast every morning. I always loved doing that. Kind of, fresh fruit from the street sellers. Really nice, really nice. So yeah, it sucks that These chemicals. All these toxic chemicals. Terrible. All right. Motion saying, yeah, another modern threat, genetically manipulated seeds, right? Genetically modified organisms, usually called GMOs in English, GMOs. Very bad. Alexi with a nice big comment. Unfortunately, in our current world, we have an imbalance in terms of not using the earth and land in the right way. Yeah, we've forgotten, right? The old ways. Dharma. We've forgotten Dharma. We've forgotten natural law in our food growing with the earth. We don't realize, instead of buying vegetables that have lots of chemicals, in addition, it's very convenient to go to the grocery store. Just buy it because we could have some land to ensure, because we could have some land to ensure fresh vegetables, at least in the summer. Yep, we're getting lazy because of convenience. I'm sure this situation will be getting worse and worse. This will be part of Brave New World, by the way. It's not an accident. I understand why the inhabitants from villages have a longer life because of lots of movement, nice and freshest foods that exist in the world. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. All of that is correct. And exactly, it's convenience. It's a kind of laziness. Some people grow up, they never even understand where food comes from, that it grows from plants. They don't really understand that. They've never done it themselves at all. And it's a bad thing. It's a shame. But the good news, the good side of that is it's very simple to do it. Even with a tiny bit of land. Even, like, we'll talk to him next time, David the Good. We can ask him about growing in an apartment. Because it's possible. Not all your food, of course, but growing a little bit. Hey, from the other side of the earth, Egypt, says Anas. We're celebrating Eid today. Yes, enjoy your feast. Bom dia from Brazil. Thank you, Rosana. Nice to see you again. Very close to Spanish. Buen dia. Buenos dias. Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, Prem. I knew it. Andhra Pradesh is a region, a state. I'm not sure what you guys call it. Prefecture in India. Sagman says, could you make an episode about teaching? Do a show about teaching. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I will. Good idea. Yeah, right. Kong's talking about cancer. Sometimes farmers spray chemicals on vegetables one day before they sell it. It makes the greens grow rapidly, which means quickly, and big enough to sell the next day. It's one part of making a lot of cancer in my country. Yeah, right? It's garbage, man. It's garbage food. Fasting, though, might help that. That's one reason I'm fasting. Get rid of those chemicals. South India. I guess Andhra Pradesh is in South India. What am I thinking of? Uttar Pradesh? Solomon says, thanks for all things, AJ. You're amazing. I learned a lot of things by your podcast. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, another fan of Thailand, Vladislav. I agree with you about Thailand. I was there in 2015. Street fruits are amazing. I like the mango. Yeah, the mangoes are nice too. Sometimes they put that little chili salt on the mangoes, which is quite nice. You guys are talking about all the great Thai food. Make me hungry again. Chanokporn says, I'm so glad you left Thailand. Don't forget Tom Yum Goong. Yeah, Pad Thai. Oh, there's so much good Thai food. Thai food's fantastic. It is fantastic. I miss it. Luckily, Japanese food is also fantastic, so I'm okay. I'm okay, but they're very different, right? Very different. Thai food's fantastic, though. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I also love Indian. Those are probably my three favorite kinds of foods: Japanese, Thai, and Indian. Or Nepali, which is kind of close to Indian. Pakistani is close to Indian. That they're similar, but I'll just say Indian. Indian, Thai, and Japanese. I love them. So good. Thanks, Mohammed says, appreciate your great effort, AJ. You're the best teacher, number one. Thank you very much. Reuben, good to see you. Hey, it's been a while, Reuben. Good to see you. Hi, AJ. This is Reuben, your ambassador. Yes, indeed. Hope all is going well with you and your English school in Brazil. Nice to see you. Okay, asking about the baby. Better minds. How is your sick baby coming home in this week? So we're very, very happy. We will have 2 babies at home soon. Yeah, all right, Rome, another great city. I'm living near Rome. Here you can find organic food in the market. In addition, on the corners of the cities, you can find farmers selling their vegetables with organic certification. Yeah, Italy also, I think Italy and France, especially in Europe, really high quality food. There's still a lot of small farmers who are organic. I think the population, they care about food quality a lot. Certainly the French do, and the Italians also. Spanish too, probably. But especially the French and the Italians, really, really good stuff. Much more than America. More than the average American, for sure. Yeah, okay, so Israel, too. Been to Israel to witness how amazingly Israeli-grown plants in the desert with advanced technology such as irrigation systems, etc. Yep. I'm going to end with Alexis' question. Is it possible, can you really survive if you have $50 throughout 21 days traveling across 4 countries in Europe? $50 a day or $50 total? Because that's a big difference. $50 a day, yes, you could do it. You could do $50 a day. $50 total? I mean, I'm not going to say no, but it would be very tough, right? It'd be very tough. $50 a day, though. Total. Alexi says total. Yikes. Total. Wow, $50 for 3 weeks. I mean, you could do it. You could do it. I can imagine how you could do it. You'd have to, you'd have to have friends. You'd have to know people. You have to get help from people or get donations from people. You could do some fasting. You can do some fasting while you're doing that to keep your food costs down. To travel, you'd have to be on a bicycle or hitchhike. You'd have to, for staying with people, maybe have a tent, camp, and just stay in your tent for free. Or you have some friends or nice people let you stay with them. What else could you do? For food, low-cost food, you could do beans and rice. Just buy huge amounts of beans and rice and, I don't know, maybe a multivitamin. Multivitamin might be too expensive. Just beans and rice. I don't know, but, I won't say not possible. I think it would be a huge challenge. It would be a big challenge for most people. It would certainly be a big challenge for me to do $50 total, 4 countries. So, yeah. It would be hard. It would be hard. I'm curious, Alexi, are you planning to try that? Tell us how you do it. It's my budget that I'm ready to spend. Wow. All right, so, brainstorm. Be creative. It might be it's possible. There are people who live. You're going to have to probably... the other thing you could try to do is think of ways to make money while you're traveling. I don't know, either donations, like people have a musical instrument, they play music, people give a few dollars, give them a little donation on the street, and then you use that to buy some money. Things like that. Oh, another thing you could do, volunteering. You might be able to, do some kind of volunteering or something. What's it called? I mean, 4 countries would not be possible with this, but there's some website, some organization where you go to a country and work on a farm for free. You work on the farm for free, but they feed you and give you a place to stay. Maybe they pay you a little bit. I'm not sure. So things like that. You're going to have to look into things like that. Of course, camping. Brazilian fruits, Rosanna says. Super delicious. Yeah, Brazil's famous for amazing food also. I've never been to Brazil, but I know that famous for the fruit and just overall great, healthy food. Really, most places are better than America. All right, guys. Alexi, keep us informed about this experiment. I'm very curious about it. I hope if you try it especially, I'm very curious how it goes and what methods you use to have such a tiny budget. Good luck to you. To everyone else, lots of love to you. And remember, we're starting our new book this weekend, Get Brave New World. Read Chapter 1. I recommend you read it in your language first, then try to read it in English. Chapter 1, Brave New World. The writer, Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley. Lots of love to you, and I will see you next time. As always, join and commit to my VIP program. You will speak English fluently. You will speak powerfully. You will speak English effortlessly when you commit to my VIP program. Commit, don't quit at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Go there now.